Okay, so I just recorded for like, I don't know, 20 minutes until I noticed that I didn't have my microphone connected. Isn't that kind of the vibe of Imbolc? You want to do something and feel this little spark of inspiration, but then you're too tired to actually concentrate and do it properly. That's how I feel. So this whole video is going to be a bit like this actually, because I wanted to talk about Bridget and I wanted to make a Bridget's cross, but then I couldn't find the right grasses and I kind of thought, well then maybe it's not the right year for me to make a Bridget's cross. Not this year maybe. Why is my focus always getting in and out? I'm sorry for that. The focus is in rest mode too, however. But what I do have, I've come up with a really nice idea of a live review because, first of all, I feel like Imbolc is one of these festivals that don't necessarily happen on a specific date, but it's more like Imbolc season for me. For me, that's the time of year where you feel still tired and still sleepy, but there's this little spark of life and this little spark of anticipation already. So that's why you also want to do all the New Year resolutions and plans and I don't know what. But actually, you are still in a very sleepy mode. You know, in nature it's the same, like almost everything is still sleeping and still resting. But you know, beneath the earth, life is starting and planning its return. So that's what I want to do today. I want to hide and stay warm under my blanket and secretly plan my return. So what I've come up with is this. You write down all the areas of your life. Like I would suggest: body and health, family and friends, time for yourself or self-care, spirituality and soul, romantic relationships, money, work, living and surrounding, that's like hearth and home, and that's all. Should be 8. You can of course drop some or add some, and then for each area of your life you paint a little plant, and depending on where you see yourself in this area, you paint either a seed, a seedling, a small plant, a bigger plant, or a huge plant. I'm gonna choose 4 stages of growth. So bit by bit, you add to your inner garden. I think that's a really cute way to reflect on your life right now, because I actually don't yet feel like making big plans, and I don't want to get into this busy mode yet. I just want to reflect on where I'm standing right now and be a little whimsical. So once you've painted your inner garden, you can then ask yourself for all the areas of your life, like what does this plant need in order to grow a little more, or what is missing in this area for it to feel like a really flourishing plant, and can I take one step now in the right direction? Actually, it's pretty much like the wheel of life, but with plants. So yeah, it's not so much about growth yet, it's more about looking where I stand and where I can make myself feel better about this area in my life. What I also really like to do during all of those seasonal festivals is going outside and finding signs for this season. Like typical signs, you know what I mean. I've tried to find the first buds of flowers, but I couldn't because we have snow again and I love it. But what I did find was the first hazel thingies. How are these called? Please write me in the comments. You know, these little hazel worms that are hanging from the hazel bushes. The shrubbery. And then I also found these 2. They are not exactly a sign, but I really love them. And here are some beach buds, of course. The sun starts to thaw the ice, inviting little friends like this one. That's my favorite little Imbolc find actually. So I hope you find this Imbolc reflection idea as lovely as I do, and I hope that most of the plants in your inner garden are not covered in snow anymore. Write me in the comments below how this season makes you feel, and if you're as tired and confused as I feel. I hope it's not me but the season. However, I've not been very present in the last few weeks and months, but that was just because it's winter and it's slow and there were many things to do, like in my personal life with the kids and family and all these things. But rest assured, I'm still here and doing my best to get back into the flow and hopefully more consistent again with dropping a video here and there. So I'm sorry, my dear, I don't feel super inspired right now, but I hope this gave you some inspiration, and I wish to all of us that the light and energy will return gently back into our lives and surroundings and energy field, so we all start to bloom again when spring returns. Have a beautiful day, take it easy, don't put too much onto your plate, and enjoy your sleepy mode with this little spark of anticipation.